New track. Okay, yes, he has some new tracks according to Jonas and the other guys in the studio. What was the name? Give up and see. Oh, okay. I come never do. Yeah. And I think that's how we will start the morning. If you like, you give up and see what will happen to you. If you like, give up and see. Anyway, folks, good morning. It's time right here on WoezorTV to serve you the best of breakfast on TV. Remember, we are on from now till somewhere around 10 a.m. where we finally hang our cloaks and make way for other programs to come your way. Quite a number of things for us to look at for today. Remember that the JEA Mills Memorial lecture will be on today. Later in the afternoon, trust yours truly, WoezorTV will bring all the live updates, live events as a rose. I think it's happening at the UPSA auditorium. Of course, we'll bring you all the live updates on that particular one as well. But if you have been monitoring the media space in recent times, I think early part of the week, you realize that the education minister has addressed the nation. I mean, as far as the mid-year review of the education sector is concerned, he stated quite a number of things. I am happy about one particular thing that he mentioned: the welfare of our teachers. Mufi allow, and we will delve into that pretty shortly when the team is set for us to have that conversation. We'll delve into it. He spoke on TVET as well. Then there is also a conversation on some exams for primary 2, 4, and 6 pupils. Well, we'll take a look at that, not necessarily judging them on what they need to do as far as qualification to the next level is concerned. But we'll discuss all of that. We'll probably get an expert to speak to, so they explain to us what really the layman ought to understand as far as the education sector is concerned. So quite a number of things for us to look at. Then there is also an issue on NASPA. It came yesterday. It came as a big bombshell. Look, we keep talking about it in this studio that the president will try as much as possible to ensure that he goes clean. But some of the appointees don't misbehave. Don't try to mess up things. There is a conversation on NASPA, an alleged issue of some deductions. Well, it's no longer an allegation because it has been confirmed that some deductions have been ongoing from the accounts of some personnel. But yesterday, NASPA held a press briefing and they explained. Fortunately, there has been a directive from the upper hand that says that they have to stop the deductions immediately. But that has raised some level of controversy over the time being. It's a conversation hopefully we will discuss right here in the studio. And this is not the first time we are hearing issues about national service. Every year there seems to be an issue. Remember the Gifty Owari case? We are not done yet. We wouldn't want a new one to pop up, right? I don't know if you were born at that time, but there was a similar issue with cloth. By force, you have to buy the cloth. Deductions were made and all of that. We'll discuss it. How do we even reset that particular institution? I'm talking about the national service together with NASPA in its entirety. We'll discuss all of that at this morning. And I encourage you to join the show via all our social media platforms, and feel free to drop your messages under any of the broadcasts and I'll read them out loud and clear. You can also send us a text via WhatsApp number 055-269-7939. 055-269-7939. We'll be very excited to hear from you. But this morning, the weather isn't looking good. It's bleak across the capital city, and understand other parts of the country are also experiencing similar weather conditions. It's rain showers across the board on the motorway especially. I realize that there seems to be some congestion on that stretch. Broken vehicles, as you always, every morning you see big trucks broken on the motorway. They are same bank cranny. Anyway, but the temperature as it stands is 24 degrees Celsius. A little bit cold out there for those of us who easily catch cold. Whether I kakra then Joe. Did I say it right? You are feeling cold, you know. Our dew, thank you. Our dew. You know, it's 24 degrees Celsius as it stands now. It's likely it's going to be like that throughout. The weather is going to be a bit cold throughout the day. The highest temperature we're expecting is around 27 degrees Celsius, and possibility of rain showers later in the day is 46% leading into Thursday morning. So please, we always encourage you and advise you that once you're about to step out, remember to carry along an umbrella or get a raincoat to just protect yourself from the harsh weather condition. And if you don't have anything at all, very important to do in town, would you tifie, what I say, would you tina fie and watch WoezorTV? Cook some akple or amo and some hot pepper, sit at home, enjoy WoezorTV, because there are a lot of things for us to show this today. So please stay at home and stay safe as the weather rolls like that. So that is how it's looking like as far as the weather condition is concerned. But what is our motivation for the morning? The motivation is from Henry Ward Beecher, and Henry says, hold yourself responsible for a higher standard than anybody else. Hold yourself responsible for a higher standard than anybody else expects of you. Never excuse yourself, never pity yourself. Be a hard master to yourself and be lenient to everybody else. Yes, so hold yourself responsible for a higher standard than anybody else expects of you. Never excuse yourself. Never pity yourself. Be a hard master to yourself and be lenient to everybody else. That's according to Henry, and that's exactly what our motivation for the morning is. And also, let's just quickly go back and take a look at the weather. Let me just reiterate the point as far as the weather condition is concerned this morning. We are told that this morning southern Ghana will remain mostly cloudy with mist or fog patches forming over the coastal forest and mountainous areas including Takrady, Axim, Koforidua, Kumasi, Obuasi, as well as Gosu. Some places may also experience light rain or drizzle, such as Accra, as I mentioned earlier, Koforidua, Kumasi, Obuasi. They are like Cape Coast and also Winnipeg. They are likely to experience some light rain or drizzles this morning. Meanwhile, very few places within the northern and transition sectors will experience rain with occasional thunder, including Atebubu, Ejura, Yendi, and Sampa. So please note, the state of the sea is calm, and stay safe and drive carefully. And that's actually from the Ghana Metro Agency. So please take care of yourself once you prepare to step out. Let's quickly take a quick break. When we return, I'll introduce the rest of the team, and then we can start off the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. Stay with me. There is more after the break.
Big game today as Ghana faces England. And the whole nation is ready. Shot on target. Oh, what a save! Benjamin Asari flying for Ghana.
What is it? It's a save. Politics is always safe.
Every day, in the moments we love, we rely on clean and safe water that flows from Polytank.
It's not about the 90 minutes, it's what you put into the 90 minutes. It's not just about the win, it's about the will to win. It's not just about the jollof, it's about what's inside. This advert is FDA approved. It's not just about the game, it's what you put into it.
Now there's more Kivo inside. More to enjoy, more to share. Fortified with iron, zinc, and vitamin A.
More Kivo inside, more joy for you. More Kivo inside.
No matter who you are or where you are, Kivo has got you. Kivo Gary Soaking Mix, a taste of Ghana.
Kivo you.
This advert is FDA approved.
Years ago, MTN arrived in Ghana and everything changed. It's time to celebrate you big time. The MTN at 30 promo is here. Win one of 9 Toyota Land Cruiser Prados. Your share of over 10 million Ghana cedis in rewards. Let's be your connection plug in your everyday hustle. Make video calls, browse the internet for business with family and friends. Make that money move and stay ahead. Because every move counts. Dial *530# or visit my MTN app for more.
So results be a Faba. Hey, William, where are you?
Daddy!
Yeah? How did it go?
Social studies, excellent. English, excellent. Science, excellent. Mathematics, excellent.
Every subject, excellent. What are man? Me. Choose Excellence Series from Crash to SHS. They are GES approved and they are trusted for over 15 years. You can find Excellence Series across the whole country. Excellence Series. Excellent results are assured. Who will chat excellence?
Welcome back. Many thanks for still staying with us right here on WoezorTV. Remember, this is the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. The team is ready to serve you the best of breakfast. And let me just quickly introduce them. On my immediate right is Karim, and also to the extreme end is Godfred Amwafu. The guy who small travel he traveled to, is it Belarus or UK?
To London.
To London, good.
London.
Then all of a sudden his accent was changed. Yesterday he mentioned something
He started giving us Hyundai accent.
Hey,
his own is Hyundai accent.
Yesterday I was monitoring. I mean, during the sports, I didn't see him. I mean, he went on an assignment. So
yeah,
during sports, Italy, like
yes, Italy.
Carry.
Oh, I wanted to say Italy.
Oh, I'm not saying you should say Italy.
No, it's Italy.
I'm not saying you should say Italy.
I wanted him to say Italy.
I'm not saying you should say Italy.
Around the world, man.
So say it again. Say it again. Say
Italy.
It's Italy.
Yeah.
This UK, we have to go. UK.
Italia. Italy.
So say digital.
Digital.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, digital.
What else do you use?
Yeah.
Oh, the last time you mentioned it's okay. We'll delve into that later. But how are you doing?
I'm good.
You're looking good. I like your cloth.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. I'm not a wholesaler, so.
Oh, you sell cloth to fabrics? So what don't you do? It's only human organs that you don't sell yet.
Apart from road construction. I do construct road.
You do everything.
I do everything.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Anyway,
everything profitable.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So tomorrow is going to be a very big day for Ghana, and Karima, I'll come to yours on that one. Maybe just brief before we delve into our first conversation this morning. The conversation on the mid-year budget review, the finance minister will have the opportunity to present that to us so we can assess what has been done so far and what ought to be done in the remaining months as far as the 2026 calendar year is concerned. Godfred, for you, what are your expectations?
Yes, just as you said, it's a review. Let me say good morning to our viewers this morning. Review means that we are looking at what we said will be done in the course of the year 2026. Remember that 2026 budget was read somewhere 2025. Yeah. So it's important that the finance minister who read it that time comes back to Parliament to tell us in the middle of the year that this is what has been achieved, this is what we need to do. If they require additional money or funding for some projects, they do that. So we are coming to take a look at what was said at the beginning of the year that the government is going to embark on. And so it's normal. What you're going to expect is what has been achieved, what has not been achieved, and how the government plans to achieve what has not been achieved so far. And so it's going to cut across all sectors, from education, like you made mention, the fisheries ministry, when it comes to road construction and all that. The big push, I know, will be a center stage, because you see the minister moving around, so he will have a lot of report for the finance minister to report on the agriculture sector. Of course, the minister is also working, and so he will have a lot to also brief the finance minister, for him to also present to Parliament and before Ghanaians what has been done or achieved in the agri sector and what needs to be done and all that. The feedback that he himself, the finance minister, Dr. Kisel Atuforsen, has been gathering across the country. When he was appointed, the first 2 years, first year, you saw him in the market, engaging the market women. I don't know whether he's doing it as it stands now, but I know that if he is not going there personally, he has, the database that to collect information from the market, how the market is responding. That's one question you always ask. Inflation is down, our forex trading is good, our currency is strong and all that. How does it reflect in the pocket of the ordinary Ghanaian? And so he will have a lot to say about that, how it is faring and all that. Now at the moment, the strength of our currency, is it depreciating, the level of depreciating and the level of appreciation and all that. He will. So I'm not expecting, he's not going to make any new promises. That is under review. He's just going to tell us what has been done. It's like you going back to your own pocket and say, okay, this year or this month I was given 20,000 Ghana cedis to spend. What have I spent the money on? Is it finished? How much left? How am I going to spend the rest of the money in the course of the month and all that? And so Randy, my expectation is not that big. I'm not looking up to anything new, because it is a review of what has already been said and what he is doing. But what I look forward is positive outcome of the implementation of the policies or the initiatives that the government has started, especially in the education sector. I'm looking at the free tertiary for the first years. How is it going and all that? The Feed Ghana program under agriculture. When it comes to sports, you know that the 2026 FIFA World Cup is over, so the minister will have some questions to ask or tell us how much the government spent, even though we used corporate money to fund the blasters. Government cannot say that it did not spend a little on the blaster. We know. And so how much went into that?
But I thought the football people said government cannot probe how they spend their money.
No, we are not saying he should come and probe. But then,
give us an update.
How the government supported the blasters, and all that. Football people, you can probe them. You've seen that before, and that led us to the normalization committee.
That's what do you mean government cannot prove? Government is giving you money. You are saying government cannot prove.
So
what do you mean?
But maybe I am not saying it well.
I will give you money to go for taxpayers' money, and you tell me I cannot prove you.
No, hold on. The point is that it is the interference of government in the affairs of football.
Yeah.
That is why I think it's actually from FIFA.
The next time when they are going, they should look for their own money and go. Next time when they are going, they shouldn't come to government for money. They should go look for their GFA should go look.
I mean,
GFA should go look for their own money and go. When they come, nobody will ask them questions. Nobody will even buy ticket and go and follow them to go and watch.
No, but I'm surprised Karim is saying this. Have you forgotten the?
No, what do they mean?
2014? No.
The normalization.
Which one?
Yes, the normalization.
Was it after the Brazil thing?
Yeah, after the Brazil. No, not even the Brazil. It was Anas expose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the conversation on. Then that was when the honorarium and the money is our own. We look for corporate bodies to sponsor us came in and all of that.
Yeah.
But I just know for a fact that FIFA has this regulation on what's the name? Government interfering into the affairs of
you are right, but then what you're talking about, that one, government had to dissolve the entire FA.
Yes,
that is sole interference.
Yes,
you understand. So for that one is that time we dissolved the entire FA, set up a normalization committee.
Take your time.
We set up a normalization committee, the NC, to revitalize the whole institution, bring it back to East because of the corruption allegations and all that. So that one is different thing altogether. It was a political field that was played around our football at that time, but this time it's different. I mean, you need to come and account, and so it's different.
So that's the expectation of the sports sector.
Yes,
as well.
for the sports sector. So I've spoken about education, agriculture, sports, the transports. Randy, very critical sector.
Talk about it again.
The transport.
Say that again.
Very critical.
The what?
The transport sector.
I agree with you.
Yeah, it's not.
It was going to be my number one on the list.
Yeah, it's not easy on the route. I think we are suffering from shortage of cars, vehicles, at the moment, commercial vehicles. Let me put it that way, because private.
Is it shortage?
That's how I would say it, because you have more people than the cars.
Yeah.
And that's why the government brought in 100 buses, right? It is only today I saw one on my road, and I don't know where it's coming from, whether from Kaswa or beyond Kaswa, because we are told that it's not for intra traveling or intra operation. It is inter, maybe Accra.
To Kumasi, Accra to
Cape Coast and all that. So I don't know whether it's coming from Accra. My expectation before the buses came was that they were coming to augment the inner city, but then it seems that they have different agenda and all that. So what happens? We are told that the next buses will come in November and all that. So what is the state? They should tell us more, because we need more buses. The lack of them, it's impeding our movement and even affecting our productivity, because we have to spend a lot of time in traffic and all that. And so,
do you chase cars? Do you run as well?
I do.
Hey,
I do.
I think when is the next Olympics? Maybe we need to go and register. Because the running we run. Hey,
I do a lot, Randy. And my situation is even worse because of the distance. Kaswa, from 4 p.m. all stations are loaded or filled with commuters, and so you have to, sometimes I need to pay ×2 of the fare, ×3, 30 cedis trotro from here to Kaswa. It is something else. And so the transport sector too, I'll be expecting what has been achieved and the plans to enhance it.
If we are going to have a very, and let me come to Karim, if we are going to have a very good transport sector or system, then we need to have good roads. And I think riding on the back of that, the government decided to just push in a lot of money for the big push. And for me, and that's why I said on my list, the number one priority or the number one thing I want to look out for, listen to tomorrow, is on the big push, infrastructure, roads, and that ties into the transport. And I asked Karim the last time that the bus is new, so it's actually for intra rather, not intra.
No, not intra.
So I mean, Karim, but you listen
before even Karim comes under the transport, we've seen a remarkable development and in the railway development or railway agency, the cargo railway, the rails that are they've started operating and all that. So I think it's a plus, a major plus. But then what left is on the road.
Because I think majority of us use the road more than the rail. And then yesterday we had a conversation on the water body as well, how to use the blue economy to our advantage. So if that is well coordinated, then you, for instance, living in Kaswa, you don't need to chase cars. You can use boats to But Karim, what are your expectations anyway?
I have a lot of expectations, just as every Ghanaian out there who would definitely follow and be interested. in what happens to our country and what happens to taxpayers' money. Lots of promises were made by the government, especially in the reading of its 2026 budget, and expectations are there. One of the key things that I'm hoping to hear something about tomorrow during the media budget review would be the Women's Development Bank. It's a conversation that it's very dear to my heart because of the work that I do within the non-profit space, mostly working with marginalized women, women who run, small SMEs and all of that. So I'm much more concerned about the Women Development Bank. I want to hear more about it. I know the finance minister has mentioned that the 400 million Ghana cedis capitalization has been paid, to the Bank of Ghana to at least fill that minimum requirement. But what about the rest, and what about the others? When are we going to get it fully functional, up and running, so that our women entrepreneurs and business women can leverage that particular space to be able to improve on the businesses that they run? So I really want to hear more about the Women Development Bank. I also would definitely want to hear more about the health sector, particularly abandoned hospitals. We can talk about the Afari, we can talk about the Siriua, we can talk about the Agenda 111 that we've committed that we're going to complete 35 of them. It was in the budget this year. We want to hear updates on that as well. How far with that particular one? I'm glad that you brought about the conversation on roads and the big push. Yes, it's evident that contractors are on the road, they're working and all of that, but we also want some sort of concrete answers to when they are going to be done, completion dates and all of those things, and what the next phases would be, among other things. It's something that I'm definitely looking forward to hearing. Then also I'm hoping that the finance minister during the review would also talk about recruitment. Doctors, nurses, teachers. See, these people are the backbone of our country. When I say they are the backbone, they are handling very critical sectors of our nation: education, healthcare, and so we must not treat it like any other space. We must give it all of the attention and all of the priority that these sectors deserve. So I definitely want to hear something about recruitment into our, into our schools. So teachers, recruitment of nurses, recruitment of medical doctors. We want to hear something about them. Pharmacists, we want to hear conversations surrounding their recruitment and all of that. Also conversations about recruitment into our security agencies. If you remember, clearance was only given for a certain number until the issues came up, and His Excellency the President at Cabinet instructed that let's add an additional number to this year's recruitment. But I think all of that, those conversations came up after the initial budget was read. So we want to see what adjustments would be made to that particular space as well, so we are sure that indeed some progress is being made. Transport is an important sector. Godfred has already mentioned it. I don't think I want to dwell too much on that as well, but I've been listening to the head of the Ghana Railway Development Authority, and there's one statement that he makes that a lot of people do not side with him. But you see, when you do a little research into what happens in other parts of the world, you are forced to side with him, or you're forced to go with the opinions that he states, because some of they are not just opinions, but they are actually facts that exist. For instance, he says that it's not profitable to run passenger rail. Okay, and so even though we've had so many people saying that let's bring in railway system to improve, blah blah, yes, it will do all of that, but at what expense? Randy, when you look at most of the developed countries, the governments have to supplement the running costs for even railway development. That tells you that they're not even able to break even. So it has to take government, in some instances, contributing 30 to about 60% of the running cost of rail in those countries. And so clearly it's not a space that, as a developing country like Ghana, we want to concentrate a lot of our resources into. But I think that rather what we should be looking at is seeing how best we can develop our road infrastructure properly, and after developing our road infrastructure properly, how best we can also improve on the quality of vehicles that we have on our roads. I've mentioned time and again that I think government should sit down with owners of trotro vehicles and see how best we can look. A lot of those trotro vehicles should not even qualify as salvaged cars. It shouldn't even qualify as scrap. But we have to endure it every day. But how can we get governments to sit down and say, look, let's engage with the owner, because you don't want to move them out of business. So how can we engage the owners of these vehicles and say, look, Charlie, these cars are not safe enough? Can we make that commitment? Yes, the government is going to put the system in place, but we'll leave the space for private individuals to run. Let's get proper modern vehicles on our cars. If you combine two trotros that are like 14-seater or 15-seater into one, that is giving you like a 30-seater. You understand? So how can we get these people to be willing to invest so that we can procure new buses and have them moving on our roads? Then you can create dedicated lanes. Like I said the last time, close a lane down from 4 a.m. to about 10 a.m. because you know that is when people are going to work and everybody uses that lane. Then from 3 p.m. to about 8 p.m. you close that same lane down again for people who are coming back home. Just imagine how easy it will be for people to commute. Godfrey won't have a problem running after cars or chasing cars. And when we develop those systems, you put it in such a way that it is time bound. I tell you, my very first cultural shock that I had when I went to Germany in 2019 was that when they said the bus is arriving at 6 o'clock a.m., by 6 a.m. then the bus is standing there. If the bus's wait time is 30 seconds or 60 seconds, immediately after the wait time is over, the bus is moving. That is abrochiri. That is development. And people have the opportunity to even prepay for the bus. So you can pay for 1 year. In the time you have before bus will be free. You just need to tap with your phone, then it will scan, then you go through. Or you can do a day pass, especially if you're a tourist. You do a day pass. So 1 full day you get on the bus, go anywhere at all in the city, and you don't have any issue. I think that a lot of our leaders, okay, are people who have experience, they have traveled, they have seen what happens in other places. So at least we should be seeing them coming back home and taking those baby steps. Even if we're unable to do everything wholesale, I am a proponent for saying that let's use African solutions to solve African problems. In this case, let's use Ghanaian solutions to solve Ghanaian problems. There's nothing new under the sun. Somebody has done it already. Go and look at it. Come back. How can we situate it within our context or within our own environment and implement those solutions? The blue economy, like you talked about, is a space that we have failed to utilize over the years. Meanwhile, our counterparts in other parts of the world, they're using it. A country like Netherlands is living above below sea level. Netherlands is like in a pit, and the sea is up there. But go to the Netherlands and see how they have developed their water transport. It is beautiful to see. I don't see why, like I said, Godfrey lives in Kaswa, and Godfrey has to be chasing, trotro every day on the road, when we could have developed a proper water transport system that all Godfrey needs to do is to go get on board a boat or a ferry, and it ferries him all the way. So of course it will take him all the way to the back and bring him into town. We should be able to develop such systems. You understand? And when we do that, it even makes it easier for us. I'm glad that at least conversations about how we can start utilizing the blue economy for the transportation of goods. Then of course subsequently I'm sure we'll look at transportation of people, because if you imagine that if we're also able to reduce the number of long vehicles, the articulator trucks as we call them, or the goods carrying vehicles on our roads, then we'll be making some headway. For instance, all these trucks that come from Burkina Faso driving through the North Bipe, Yape, all the way through Techiman, Kumasi, coming into Accra, ordinarily should not be taking, doing that drive. They should drive from Burkina Faso and come and dock at Bipe or Yape. Then we take the goods off the ship in Tema, put them on a ferry, and ferry them all the way through the Volta Lake, at Akosombo, all the way through the Volta Lake, and bring them to Bipe. Then they pick them up from Bipe, and voila, Piamonco, they go.
And I think that was what's his name?
Your conversation yesterday.
You mentioned. And so that is where the Volta Economic Corridor comes in.
Yeah, you get it. We should be able to do that. Or there are trucks that are supposed to deliver some goods to the north, maybe perhaps the northern, the Bimbila, Yendi, Pandai, those areas. They can drive all the way to the Dambai. Okay, they pick up, and they move. So we have the opportunity to develop this particular space. Yes, the capital involved would be huge.
Yeah.
And of course, we don't expect government to be the one responsible for that.
Yeah.
But government should be able to put the system in place, build the infrastructure, invite private sector support, and let the private sector run the space. Because the private sector has the money. We can sign whether it's PPP, PP, whatever. Let's have those conversations. Let's sign those agreements, and let's see how best we can improve on that sector. Let me also land on Ghana Airways. And it's something that has come up over and over and over again. That conversation has come up. A committee was set up. They've looked into various things and all of that. What's the update? How far? What's happening? We want to know. I think that what we have seen with the reset agenda from 2025 up until now is that at least the government has shown us that it's not just about talk. We've seen some action in a lot of the things that the government says it would do. Okay, the government talked about 24-hour economy. We've seen that the bill was passed. It became an act. The authorities been set up. Work is ongoing and all kinds of things are happening. Some businesses are already benefiting from that. So there are baby steps being taken in all of the things that the government has said it would do. 24-hour economy markets being built all across the country. The big push. Contractors are on site working. Like I said, I have traveled this country every weekend and I see contractors working on our roads. So we are seeing some action in every bit of all of the things that the government says it will do. But I think that what Ghanaians want to see is more action beyond the talk, and we want to see evidence of that action. Like I said, you don't just come and tell us that you have completed 70% of something. It's one thing saying it, it's another thing showing evidence of that work being done. So we want to see evidence of those things. Then Randy, energy sector. Energy. The government has shown enough commitment towards the energy sector. We've seen some massive transformation within the energy sector, like the changing of transformers across the country to ensure that we have stable electricity. We saw what happened at VRA. The minister was there, the engineers were on site, we were able to quickly come and salvage the situation and fix it, restore power supply. But there are still some pockets of issues within the energy sector that people are concerned about, and I'm sure a lot of Ghanaians out there would definitely also want to hear something within that space. And finally, the agric sector. It's also another space that we must prioritize. Government has talked about some key policies or some key interventions within the agric space. You talk about the farmer service centers that His Excellency the President talked about. We're told that some equipment were procured from, what's the name of the country? Was it Belarus or no? I don't remember.
Yeah, Belarus.
Yeah. Some equipment or not. So we want to see action and want to hear, some conversation about some of these things. How far with the farmer service centers? How far with all of the support schemes we say we're going to put in place for farmers? Because you remember the little fracas between the agric and the finance ministry on all of that. And also maybe it's also an opportunity for the finance minister to clarify a lot of the rumors out there about the release of funds, because everybody you talk to says that the money is not coming. Everybody you talk to says that the money is not coming. So is it indeed the case that the money is not coming, or people are just using that as an excuse to dodge having to do stuff for people? I don't know if you're getting where I'm coming from. So maybe the finance minister has an opportunity now to come and clarify. Want to hear from the donkey's own mouth if indeed the things that we hear outside is the reality, or people are just creating all kinds of stories. Because like we said, they said if the lion doesn't tell a story, the one will always glorify the hunter. Charlie, those of you who did literature and know proverbs. So this time around, we want Ato to also come and say that, Charlie, no, this is the situation, this is the reality, blah blah blah. There are some conversations about Go Board and their operations and all of those. So there's a lot that people would definitely be looking forward to hearing. But it all boils down to the bread and butter issue. The Charlie money for pockets, the money for cocoa and watch. That's what people are concerned about. So tomorrow, I don't think that people want to hear a lot about microeconomics and all those jargons. People want the very basic things. Come and tell us that this is this and this is what happened and this happened and this is happening and this is going to. That's all people want to hear. We say we're going to do this, we have done to this point. This is the challenge we are faced with, and so we might not be able to do this, but we'll do that. Those are the things that I believe people want to hear tomorrow. And myself, and I believe I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of Ghanaians out there, these would be our expectations for tomorrow, and we're looking forward to listening to the finance minister tomorrow.
It's going to be a very long day.
Absolutely.
Because just as your expectations are, imagine what the minister would have to speak to. And hopefully, I think the team is very much ready for tomorrow's coverage. We'll ensure that we'll bring all the updates to our viewers as well. But
okay, whilst he was speaking, we were doing the fact checking for him to confirm everything that he has said with the figures and all that. So let me start from the railway. He made mention of the CEO on the 3rd of February this year. He had a press conference about the passenger railway to tell us how much it costs Ghana to run the passenger railway. He says that since October 1, 2025, 750,000 cedis have been raised from the Tema in Pakadan railway service, but has spent over 2.5 million cedis every month on maintenance.
So we are spending more than what we are getting.
More than 5 times.
So you see, on my list, I'm not cutting you short. On my list, I mentioned I'm looking out for expenditure. The finance minister, yes, Kari mentioned macro and micro, whatever. But it is also good for us to look at how much we are spending. How much are we raking in as revenue? Mind you, some years ago we had issues of a challenge with revenue mobilization. We're running at a loss. Most of these state agencies we're running at a loss. Do you get it? And I think some of these incomes or revenues go a long way to augment some of these things. Anyway, let's go on.
So let's talk about the maritime. On the 17th April of this year, the Director General also said that there's a feasibility study that the Ministry of Transport is working on to assess what they need to do to be able to do coastal transportation for persons and goods. He went on and said that for the first time under the leadership of President Mahama, when everything comes into fruition, we will be having a ro-ro.
A what?
A ro-ro.
Okay.
So he explained that is like a trotro on the water. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That will be moving from Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, Ghana, Cameroon, and Nigeria.
Okay.
And Ghana is the one that is
championing this.
Yes, this deal. And so when it happens, then we are going to have this.
Did they put a definite timeline?
No, he didn't add a definite timeline. I mean, it was asked, but he says that they are still working on it. It's on the paper they are working on. So these are statements that we can be tracing. You understand? Going forward with all these things that we've made mention of. So there are records of them on the paper, so we need to just do the
can you take the date again when these statements were made?
17th April for the Ghana Maritime, and then the railway was on the 3rd of February.
Let's just hope that the finance minister captures all of that, and because I think it's an update. The mid-year budget review just gives us a general update on what we have done so far and what the expectations will be. Now, you guys have spoken about transport. It's a very critical sector because it contributes to the growth of the economy. Now, there's another issue, and Kari mentioned it slightly, the butter and bread issues. Jobs. Recently, the data tells us that unemployment is hovering around 13%. And it doesn't really make any difference from what we have seen in the past years because it was still around that same figure. What are we doing right? And I think the finance minister, she used the opportunity to tell us, okay, in the last month or last year, this is the number of jobs probably we have created. This is what we are expected to do in the remaining year or in the remaining months to come. Mind you, the education minister, and that's one conversation that we'll be having, earlier in the week mentioned plans for recruitment. TVET, I know the Ghana TVET, they have started call-ups for interviews and what have you. I know some other agencies are also doing all of that. We'll be very glad because the narrative out there is that everything we keep hearing is theatrics. I mean, they are not real. We keep just talking about it without really feeling it with our bare hands and all of that. So I think it is just an opportunity for the president, the finance minister, to paint a vivid picture to us as far as job creation is concerned.
Right.
That is one. Let's talk about the other part. agriculture. Karim spoke mainly on it as well. There is a lot to look out for. The food glut. How are we dealing with it? Because some years back, we were having food shortage. We didn't have enough. And we had to rely on Niger, Burkina, and the other neighboring countries, to the point that we import some of these perishables. And you remember when Niger had that their whatever, the borders were closed. Burkina Faso, the borders were closed, and prices of foodstuff surged. I'm expecting the finance minister to speak mainly on how to probably handle that situation should it come. But as it stands, the situation we have, and I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago we discussed it, has to do with food glut. We have excess. So what? Should it go waste? What are the plans? What are we putting in place to ensure that, yes, the farmers don't have their produce, rotting on the farms? So the farmers service center, as Karim mentioned, and what all the other things that were mentioned should be captured tomorrow. I'm looking at issues on the warehouses, the storage facilities. What's the plan? So that the nearest, the farmers in the in an area can actually have their storage facility available, so we can move away from this rotting or waste of food produce anytime there is a harvest period. And that's also on agri. I'm interested in that Nkuko Nkitikiti thing. I hope I always get confused with the Nkuko Nkitikiti. I'm interested because tell me how on earth you tell me that people are omuri, and how was it shared? Do you get the point I'm building? Did we just do it on a wholesale basis? Are we going to do a review of that and probably share in a different way? I really want to hear something on that.
If the people are eating the nkukwa, first thing I ask myself, what is the wrongdoing in that? In eating the akukwa? Yes.
Was that a rationale?
So
was that a rationale to eat?
So it is to eat and what? And sell, right? To make money. So for livelihood. So if I have about 5,000 of them and I start eating some and selling some,
why will you eat some?
You shouldn't. No, you should eat.
But I think what the minister
said is not to commercialize poultry. And then and for livelihood, like our homes. So like my grandma does, she has small poultry. If you come to buy, we will sell. But if we need to eat some, she will kill some for us.
Yes, I agree though. But if you eat and you don't have any to sell, then we are back to square zero. Because they rarely.
Why are you selling?
Yeah, because you need to make an income. Because you don't have jobs. Hold on.
Yes.
You don't have jobs. Here is Kofi, who is jobless. And government has given you Nkuko Nkitikiti. That, rare, eat, sell.
That's
right?
So far as there's an element of eat.
But would you use your gumption?
I can. So who determines
you don't have job? You the individual. And I'm saying
I am the one hungry. I am the one. I'm the one without a job. You've given me these chicks to rear and then eat and sell them, right? I've gotten to a point they can be. I can sell some and eat some, unless the rationale is that rear them.
Go for it. The people who chop the akukon,
Randy,
they have not reached that point where
you are talking about glut.
Eating there.
You are also talking about glut. Have we created external markets that when we produce more, we export?
You're talking about the akuko?
Yes. Which country?
The question is that. The question even is that. What's the demand? Our demand. Are we meeting the current local producers? Are we able to meet the local demand?
No.
No. And I think that is where the Nkuko Nkitikiti thing comes in to augment that loophole. So my point is that if indeed the demand is so high, and here is Kofi, very poor, not employed, graduate, and they have given you Nkuko Nkitikiti as a startup. What's the idea behind eating the akuko? I didn't get the minister. I stand to be corrected. The quantity of the akuko that the people chewed, did they eat everything?
No. That's why he himself came out to say, eat some and sell some. You can eat some, but don't eat it all.
See, that eat something, because look, people are abusing it, and people are back to square zero. I'm saying that it is an it is an empowerment.
People are back to square zero.
Oh, but if you chop the akoko, what do you do?
But it's not one akoko.
So if yes, how many did they eat? That's something. If we are able to know the numbers,
yes,
that they have eaten.
If I have about 300 of them and I eat
that,
like
that
10.
policy or program, I'm not sure it was mainly intended for eating. You're not talking about the other one that you mentioned, though, that you make sales, you make revenue. I'm saying that me as Randy, unemployed as I may be, if you give me Nkukon Kitikiti for free without paying a dime for it, I wouldn't be in a hurry to eat because I have excess. I wouldn't be in a hurry to eat 20 out of 40 because I have excess. I should be able to make sales out of it, use the dividends that I'll get from it, invest in something else. I think that should be the way out, rather than the quest to hurriedly harvest these chickens and eat them. It defeats the purpose for it.
So the objectives when it was launched, increase local poultry production by supporting household and community-based poultry farming.
Exactly.
1. 2, produce chicken imports, which cost Ghana, or reduce chicken imports, which cost Ghana hundreds of millions of dollars annually. Create jobs, particularly.
So that is also commercialization.
Yes. And this one, boost household income by enabling beneficiaries and all that. Now, improve food and nutrition security by increasing availability of locally produced poultry.
And that is even the 4th point that you have mentioned. Now let's talk about
that. Is the arrangement.
Hold on. Yes, I'm saying that.
All right.
Why are we jumping? If we have to go with what you are saying, why are we jumping the first 3 points that you have mentioned? All pointed at commercialization.
But we have seen videos of the larger poultry farms who are benefiting from the Nkukon Kitikiti.
Maybe you missed that point that I made. That the target, like I said, is not about the guys who are already in the poultry business. It's about the individual households. According to the Agric Minister, he brought out this report, mind you.
Yes.
And I'm saying that what was even the rationale, the mandate, or the objectives of the Nkukon Kitikiti, which you have just enumerated, about 4 pointers or 5 pointers, all indicating that it is solely or mainly on commercialization, on revenue, on income. So why would we now have a case where some of these people are eating this Nkukon without I'm coming, let me learn. Without necessarily making the revenue? That is the point. Should we change the mood on how this Nkukon Kitikiti is being shared? Because in my district, for instance, it's not been shared yet. I even asked the question yesterday. It's not been shared. They have a reason for not giving it out yet. Yes. But that is the point I am building, that we don't have to hurriedly eat the Nkukon Kitikiti when we know that we need to make money out of it. Karim.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Quite a heated debate. Interesting one from the varied opinions. Prince Ebo Dazi from Cape Coast is watching us. Prince, good morning to you. So we call something import substitution. Okay. And what basically that means is that as a country, if there's a certain product or a particular product that you are usually importing a lot of, right? Whereas you can have locals produce that particular product more, so you cease the importation of that particular product. You attempt to do an import substitution, right? So it means that you try as much as you can to produce locally to be able to meet the local demands of the people. In fact, if you're able to produce in excess, even better. Then what that means is that you meet the demand in excess and the rest you export for other people to consume. And so when we realized that we import a lot of chicken into our country, which ordinarily should not be the case, because we are also doing that at the detriment of local poultry producers or local poultry farmers. And so everybody relies on the imported chicken, the frozen one, which mostly be on the sea for months, sometimes even years before they even bring them into the country. You don't know the source, how healthy the chicken that they are bringing you was or not, but they bring it regardless, and we buy because we claim that those ones let's say, cheaper. And there's an entire cabal that backs it. And I say every day that any product that you see Ghana, we importing a lot into the country, means that there's a certain cabal that backs it, and that's their industry. And they would make sure that any other thing you want to do to prevent that from happening doesn't succeed. And so when the government realized that we have a lot of imports of chicken into our country, running into millions of dollars, the government says, no, we must do something to change that situation. And the only way you can change that is when you produce more locally to be able to meet the local demand. So what did the government say we'll do? The government says, fine, we will introduce the Nkokon Kiti program. When we introduce this program, the rationale behind it is to ensure that we have a lot of local production of chicken happening in the country. Not just by people who are already in the poultry business, but even ordinary people who are not poultry farmers should be able to also engage in this particular Nkokon Kiti program. So we'll bring you the birds, and the birds are hybrid birds. When I say they are hybrid birds, they are not the kind of birds that a lot of our poultry farmers are using. These are birds that do not necessarily have to survive on improved poultry feed like our poultry farmers own. These ones, when you leave them, they are like, you can even keep them as free-range birds. And mind you, they didn't give them day-old chicks. They gave them chicks that had already grown to a certain stage and had already gone through the vaccinations. So when they give them to you, they are not easily susceptible to any kind of diseases or what have you. When you even leave them as free range, they should survive on their own. I hope you're getting the point I'm driving at. And so when you're giving the chicks or the birds, there are two things. Rear them to the point where at least you two can sell some of them to earn some small revenue, and you can invest that in the business. But also, it's for you to also eat, so that you don't go buying frozen chicken. I don't know if you're getting my point. Yeah. That is the whole rationale behind it. So what the two of you are saying is fair. You both have a very valid or legitimate points or opinions that you have both stated. Yes, we want to reduce the importation of chicken into our country. Government says we will take the first step. We will give you the birds, rear them, sell the one you can sell, chew the one you can chew. But after all, Randy, the chicken, how many can you even chew? My father rears chicken. Ever since I've been a child, we buy local chicken, we rear them, they lay their eggs, they hatch, and the numbers keep growing. But once in a while, we'll catch some one or two and prepare a kukon. You understand? Today, for instance, when I take you to Tamale, you become a visitor in my father's house. The day we arrive, we'll catch akoko. You guys call it kokulu. We'll catch kokulu and slaughter kokulu and do akoko kwang for you to eat. So it's normal that within a typical Ghanaian home setting, once in a while you will catch your, even those who run poultry farms. It's normal. You understand? Like we say that anybody who sells Lafinta, there's no way you go to the shop and come back and not smell like Lafinta. Or when you sell honey, there's no way you pour honey and when it's dripping, you use your hand to clean the mouth and lick. It's normal. So I don't think that it should be an issue whatsoever. But I would also agree with Randy to some extent that we need to do more education on the module and how we expect the module to be run before we even hand over the chicks to the individuals we'll be handing over the chicks to, so they understand the thinking behind that particular policy, so we are able to see the full realization of the policy. But in reality, I don't think there's anything wrong that some people, once in a while, you be di bronya. Then now watch akoko ba say chale where the bronya akoko nti yes you twa efie for yes we akoko ya pefanta na cook na party na edi ana yedi sala na anu sele ya yedi yi na nko bi so achi akoko no ba ko say we nso me fie sala normal nti enya sembi a say man here back and forth bebrebem. But of course we still need to relook at it. You see, every policy is implemented in phases. It's a process. It's not just a one-day thing. And so as you implement the policy and time goes on, you look at it and you review it. and see where you think you should have done better. And this is just the first phase of it. Like you mentioned, your place, they haven't brought. Maybe you should give people cat. We should give you cat.
Forward. Forward.
Is that not your delicacy?
But I told you not to I don't eat cat. And I'm against people who eat cat.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
That's cruelty.
Why is it cruelty?
These are domestic animals. These are pets. They're pet eaters.
The chicks are the chicken.
Who rests Koklo as pets?
People, chicken is pet.
Who rests Koklo as
snake
pet?
Is pet.
Says who? Says and who eats? Who eats snake?
Go to Dubai and
who eats snake?
People eat snake.
People eat.
Who eats snake?
Who eats snake?
Have you had Nanka?
No. People eat snake.
Doesn't know what's going on.
Snake.
Python.
You know Python.
Python. Master. Sweet meat.
People eat. People eat snake.
Sweet meat.
Oh no.
I'm telling you.
It's bad.
You enjoy it. Let them prepare a granite soup with python for you.
I don't like that too.
Out of those who eat dog, what would you tell them? There's a huge dog market in Bolga.
I remember you had an interview with what's his name? Aramba Dongo. Yeah. And he mentioned it.
Oh yeah, people eat
it. It's
a delicacy.
Yeah. They actually have a market for it, right?
Yes, pork. It's a delicacy for some people.
Charlie.
Yeah, pork is manageable. Yeah.
People eat
dog.
Snake.
How?
Yeah, people eat dog. People eat cat.
Cat.
You understand?
No. Stop eating cat.
People eat
squirrel. Why are you looking at me like that?
People eat squirrel and rats and what?
Those are bush animals. Those do you read grass cutter?
People read grass cutter
for sale. For chop chop.
So it's the same way somebody to his rearing dog for chop chop.
Oh no, dog.
Another person to his rearing cat for chop chop. You understand?
This one.
What I don't like about the cat one is how the cat is killed.
And even the dog.
You understand?
How they kill the dog is
but dog, some people slaughter. Some people are able to. No, but cat, you have to. The way they put it in the sack and beat it against.
People upgraded.
Yeah, but Charlie, when the cat escape, one now.
There are too many ways to
the cat escape. The cat escape. The cat in my house when we were trying to castrate it. Then Charlie escaped. The way the boys for the house ran that day.
My brother Sule and I, so back in their home at West Stephen lives.
Yeah.
They had cats at home, and one day Charlie boys are bred. He said we'll go sell the cat. This cat we go catch him, put for sack inside. At the point of handing over to the buyer.
Charlie.
I'm not sure today the cat has really dead, but of course, well, I think that these are the expectations for the mid-year budget review. But mind you, that it is a review of what was said latter part of last year, 2024 into 2025 into 2026. So we need to be measured with our expectations. There is one other thing that I would want us to, I want to touch on before we take a break. It's about tax.
Yeah.
Tax. Is it likely there'll be some new introductions, or we'll end the year like that without any form of new taxes being introduced? And what exactly has become the yield? Remember, government scrapped some taxes. What has become the yield so far on such things? And these are some of the things we'll be looking at.
Just I think there were some conversations as well about this 1 CD levy we put on petroleum products. Some people think that the rationale behind that particular levy to some extent has been achieved. We've achieved some sort of stability within that space, and so some people think that with all of the issues happening with this Iraq, Iran, the USA, Palestine, and all of that, maybe we want to see some sort of reduction in that levy, maybe back to about 50 pesos, and then eventually, hopefully, scrap it off. So that conversation has come up within some quarters. I don't know if we'd hear something about it tomorrow, but I'm glad that you've mentioned taxes, and hopefully maybe the finance minister would also tell us what new strategies they are introducing to ensure that we widen the tax net. You remember we talked about it 2 days ago, or was it yesterday, when we talked about the fact that just a handful of us that are actually paying the taxes, and everybody else just walks about freely. So what systems are we really putting in place? What innovations are we putting in place to ensure that taxes are paid? So let's see what comes out of all of those. But we're hoping that tomorrow. The finance minister will touch on quite a number of these things. Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow will be the day, and of course we will rope you, the viewer, into our conversation along the line. As I told you, the team is very much prepared for tomorrow's engagement as well. But before we take the break, guys, let's celebrate some wonderful people, right? It's the birthday of some great people today. So, Sela, let's start celebrating some great people this morning. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. And as we always do it, we encourage you to send your wishes a day before the celebration day itself. So if tomorrow is your birthday, kindly send us your request today. By close of day, you should send it to 055-269-7939. Just send a picture of the celebrant and then the name of that celebrant. But let's start off. It's a belated birthday, and this is one of our very own, Mrs. Mary Shika Agbleho Fiato, Mr. Fiatos Amika. Happy birthday to you, sister, and enjoy your day to the fullest. Yesterday was your birthday, we missed it, but today we're celebrating you. Happy birthday to you, Sister Shika, wherever you are. Continue to be a very big woman, inspire us, and keep the home for us. We like the way you're keeping it. We'll come home on Saturday to eat some good banku. So happy birthday, or belated happy birthday to you, Sister Shika, wherever you are. Enjoy to the fullest. Well, who else do we have for the day? So starting off for the celebrants for today, Sani Mohammed. Today is your birthday, Mr. Sani Mohammed. Happy birthday to you, wherever you are. We wish you God's blessings and all the wishes that you have for yourself. Happy birthday to you, Sani Mohammed. And who else do we have on our list this morning? Karim, Stacy Ankara. Happy birthday to you. You know her?
Her face looks family, but I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday to you.
You can send her Momo number.
Let's ask Sela and Kevin. These two boys.
We have to investigate.
Yeah, we need to. Then that question is still valid. How was the recruitment done?
Yes.
Chairman, good morning. How was the recruitment done? Everything some is here. There are people who were the Osofos from the beginning. Now it be like then 10 fetish priests, then 10 comfort. So happy birthday to you, Stacy, wherever you are. Happy birthday, enjoy, and keep the Ghana jersey on. I think we should have a day in the weekend that, I mean, just like we have the Fugu day, let's alternate it. Fridays wear the Ghana jersey, the other Friday you wear the Fugu. Or what do you think?
And also,
yeah, because the Ghana jersey can't
no,
go
but
like
we saw a lot of that in March, during the Ghana month.
Yes,
a lot of people wore the Ghana jersey.
So maybe we can celebrate.
Maybe September is coming. We're about to celebrate Nkrumah. Yeah. Maybe we can do something.
I do.
Ghana month part 2.
Yeah.
All
right, Stacy, happy birthday. Who else do we have? Selena Gomez. Today is your birthday. She is an American actress and singer. It's a notable birthday. Selena, happy birthday to you. Enjoy your day. Who else? Shawn Michaels. He is an American retired professional wrestler.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, how come I don't see this one before? Shawn Michaels?
Sean is there. So Sean used to, he and this guy, there were two of them, they were a team. I've forgotten.
So they were always
his name. Triple H.
Okay.
Sean and Triple H were a tag team. Yes.
No, but Triple H is a team. Triple H is a team.
Shawn Michaels was part of the team. Yes.
So Triple H and Sean. Then I think I've watched.
Charlie.
I watched
reminding me of my childhood days. So then there was Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio.
The Bugatti.
Okay.
Bugatti. Then the Undertaker.
I think he's dead.
Then I don't know. There was Undertaker. Then John Cena, obviously.
John Cena.
Then this other guy.
The guy who acts.
This guy who does the RKO. What's his name?
What's the RKO?
This guy. Randy Orton.
Yeah, there's Randy Orton.
Oh, Charlie.
Oh, the guy who did the Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious. The top guy.
The top guy with the baldhead.
Yeah. But Charlie. The Rock.
Is that the Rock?
But he has a name. He has a name.
I forgot him.
Anyway, Charlie.
Happy birthday to you, Shawn Michaels, and to all the other celebrants for the day. Sela, do you have any other person you're celebrating this morning? Okay. William Dafoe is an American actor. Okay. This man.
Solid guy.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of fine films.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you. So that who else do we have? Okay, Christiana Awuni, veteran.
Kumawood actress, yeah.
Mama Christy, happy birthday to you. What's up with the Kumawood?
I don't know. I have no idea. I know government made some budgetary allocation for the what's it called, Ghana film something, but I don't know how.
Is that not where that guy is? What's his name? Gardner?
Yeah, Gardner and what's the lady's name? Kafui Danko.
Okay.
Yes, I don't know what's up with that space, but you know, a lot of promises were made to Kumawood. Let's see what happens out of it.
So, Mama Christy, happy birthday to you. We celebrate you right here on WoezorTV. All right, do we have anybody else? Okay, so that is it with our celebration this morning. But please, as I intimated, please do share your celebrations or your wishes with us before the day itself. So if tomorrow is your birthday, please feel free to send us the request today via WhatsApp number 055269979. Just send a picture of the celebrant and then the name. We'll do justice to read for you tomorrow. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we do the WoezorTV news report and then the other segments. Stay with us.
And there they are. The squad is ready, lined up, ice cold, focused and prepared for national duty. Every bottle in position, every label shining with confidence. And here comes the selection. One bottle steps forward, picked from the squad, ready to deliver for Ghana. He takes the first sip. Oh yes, refreshingly hydrating. The whistle goes. The Black Stars are on the move. He breaks through the defense like flowing water. Beautiful control. He lines it up. He strikes. Goal! Ghana is awake. From the fridge to the field, Awake keeps you refreshed. Awake purified drinking water. One for life. Proudly supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
From the heart of our forests, where the beautiful gigantic baobab trees reside, to the city where culture meets tradition, pulse of Accra, where the energy of the people fuels the nation's spirit, to the cascading beauty of the waterfalls, where the earth breathes life. Perla natural mineral water, purity comes from nature.
Hey baby, I missed you so much. What are you doing right now?
Eweka, I'm in the car now with my family. We are going for lunch. I'll see you in the office on Monday. Yes.
Sometimes you don't have a way out.
This Emeka is a very funny guy.
With SportyBet, you do. Because with our maximum cash out availability, there's always a way out. SportyBet, winning is now that easy.
Oil has been in Ghana since 1998. The reason we are able to provide fuels at affordable prices is because we use our own trucks as much as possible, and so we are able to use our haulage income to subsidize the fuel at the pump. We also run these stations with our own staff. Other competitors use investment partners and retailers who they pay significant margins to run their forecourts for them. We also have deployed IT infrastructure across the country to allow us to be able to manage these stations efficiently. All our vehicles have trackers and we monitor them real time. So more and more our loyal customers have come to know Star Oil not just for low prices but also for quality products.
Star Oil, quality and affordable fuels for all.
Madina. Sentuntum say wunna ma dejume ma wonsa.
Efrema bema Daniel ba
Maunsa Sentuntum amwa sumuda maunsa.
That shall not slap. Having black mosquito wear. Common tontom.
Having insecticide spray. Eye sham. Nesansu kumwa wotu any omo ria nyina.
Having dear pakope.
FDA aji edrede krato yatum.
Gentlemen, I've got some bad news and some good news. Okay, the bad news is that your chances of getting prostate cancer are now just 7 to 1. In fact, prostate cancer is killing one man every single hour of the day in this country. Imagine that, one every hour of the day. But the good news is, we're forming a team to stop that clock. Men United. It's time men united together to fight prostate cancer, the way women have united against breast cancer. We need to get together and find a cure, as well as better ways to care for the 250,000 prostate cancer sufferers out there. Please, get on side and join us in the fight. Men United versus prostate cancer. We can win this.
Your flight is ready to leave.
Sit back and relax and enjoy the flight.
It's time for the WoezorTV report. Before the details, let's look at our headlines. Let's settle for the details now. In our first story, President John Dramani Mahama has assured traditional leaders of government's commitment to strengthening their security following renewed concerns over attacks on chiefs across the country. The assurance came during a courtesy call by the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs at the Jubilee House on July 21, where both sides also discussed national development, flood mitigation, land administration, and local governance. There is more in the following report.
Mahama has reaffirmed government's commitment to protecting traditional leaders following renewed concerns over the safety of chiefs across the country. The assurance came when the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs paid a courtesy call on the president at the Jubilee House on Tuesday. The meeting touched on a wide range of national issues, including flood mitigation, infrastructure development, land administration, healthcare, local governance, and the role of traditional authorities in national development. Addressing the gathering, President of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs and Paramount Chief of the Nungwa Traditional Area, Obuadenoche King Professor Odaifio Welenche III, appealed for enhanced security for chiefs, citing recent attacks and killings of traditional rulers.
It is against this backdrop that we earnestly propose the provision of dedicated security personnel for under-resourced paramount chiefs. We also advocate for enhanced collaboration between security agencies and traditional councils to ensure a more responsive and effective approach to safety.
Responding to the concerns, President Mahama acknowledged the critical role traditional leaders play in maintaining peace and community development, assuring them that government will continue working with the security agencies to strengthen their protection.
I recognize your comments on security of chiefs and traditional authorities. Government shares your concerns regarding the security and protection of chiefs and traditional authorities. The safety of traditional leaders is of paramount importance as they remain key partners in governance, peace building, and community development. And so government will continue to work closely with the security agencies to strengthen measures aimed at protecting chiefs and maintaining peace and stability within our communities.
The president also encouraged all parties involved in chieftaincy disputes to exercise restraint, uphold due process, and prioritize peace and reconciliation, stressing that peace remains the foundation upon which national development is built. President Mahama also announced plans to establish a green digital city, stretching from the Accra Plains into parts of the Volta and the Eastern regions as part of government's long-term strategy to reduce pressure on the capital. Reporting from the presidency for WoezorTV, Belinda Annan Kwanzaa.
African heads of state and government are meeting in Accra today for the extraordinary session of the African Union Assembly to adopt measures aimed at strengthening healthcare systems and advancing universal health coverage across the continent. Hosted by President John Dramani Mahama, the summit will focus on accelerating the implementation of the African Union Roadmap to 2030, with discussions centered on ending AIDS and tuberculosis, improving maternal health, and tackling non-communicable and neglected tropical diseases. The meeting follows yesterday's technical session involving health, finance, and economic experts from across Africa. Elsewhere, the Ghana Gold Board says it expects to procure a national digital gold traceability system by the end of August this year as part of efforts to strengthen transparency, curb illegal gold trading, and improve Ghana's access to premium international gold markets. The disclosure was made by the Chief Executive Officer of Gold Board, Sami Jemfi, during a presentation to the Parliamentary Select Committee on Economy and Development, which paid a working visit to the institution. The CEO also outlined Gold Board's efforts to formalize the gold trade, support the Bank of Ghana's gold reserve accumulation program, generate foreign exchange, and promote value addition in the sector. Members of the committee commended the institution's progress and pledged Parliament's support for reforms aimed at strengthening Ghana's gold industry. The Office of the Special Prosecutor says former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta remains a fugitive from justice in Ghana despite a United States Immigration Court approving his permanent residence in USA. The OSP says the US ruling relates only to immigration proceedings and has no bearing on the criminal case, extradition process, or arrest warrant against Mr. Ofori-Atta. It maintains that criminal proceedings before the High Court in Accra will continue in accordance with Ghanaian law. The National Lottery Authority has launched a modernized point of sale channel to improve lottery operations across the country. The new platform is expected to enhance service delivery for lotto marketing companies, speed up instant prize payouts, and strengthen the authority's competitiveness in Ghana's lottery industry. There is more in this report filed by Rahel Asamoah.
The NLA has taken a major step towards modernizing its retail lottery operations with the launch of a new point-of-sale platform developed in partnership with Fidelity Bank Ghana and its technology partners. At the launch, the Director General of the NLA, Mohammed Abdul Salam, said The project addresses years of operational challenges caused by outdated terminals and slow 2G network connectivity, which affected the efficiency of lotto marketing companies across the country. The modernization program includes the deployment of new generation POS terminals and improved network infrastructure to support faster and more reliable lottery transactions nationwide.
If you go to the market today, a lot more people are still writing with paper and pen. We have had an arrangement with the licensed PLOs in particular that end July. Nobody should be seen using pen and paper. We do know that end July, more people who are so used and fixed with it will continue. We need to go out there with an enforcement drive to compel people to do the stake through the electronic equipment. When that is done through a centralized system, we are able to measure how much sales goes on in the market, how much of it is supposed to go to pay for people who are lucky to win, how much of it is supposed to come to the state for the purpose of meeting the objective for which the lottery was set up in the first place. Okay. Our business is not to allow anybody to circumvent the rules for the purpose of siphoning resources that should ordinarily come to the state for the purpose of development.
Mr. Abdul Salam also announced a significant increase in the instant win payment limit through the POS channel from 1,200 Ghana cedis to 30,000 Ghana cedis, a move expected to make the platform more attractive to players. In another innovation, qualifying winners will be able to receive immediate payment through Fidelity Bank at the point of sale, while the National Lottery Authority settles the amount with the bank under an agreed arrangement.
We are introducing this with the belief that it gives us a stronger arm in the market to be able to compete with the players, the PLOs that are licensed to operate within the lottery space. We believe that once this is done and we push it with the necessary backing, we are sure that the state is likely to get more of the lottery market revenue.
The partnership is the result of nearly a year of technical, legal, and commercial negotiations. The nationwide rollout of the new terminals and upgraded services will begin in the coming month. For WoezorTV, Rachel Asamoah.
The Ministry of Health has dismissed as false reports circulating on social media claiming that Ghana has recorded more than 2,300 Ebola cases and 930 deaths. In a press release, the ministry says Ghana has not recorded a single case of Ebola virus disease, describing the figures attributed to South Africa's SABC News as misleading and urging the public to disregard them. It explains that recent visits by Health Minister Kwabena Minta Akando to border posts, laboratories and treatment centers are part of routine preparedness measures and not an indication of an outbreak. The ministry is urging Ghanaians to rely only on official information from the Ministry of Health and the Ghana Health Service and to avoid sharing unverified reports that could cause unnecessary fear and panic. Before we go, let's take a look at what we have in the international stories. The number of people known to have drowned after a passenger ferry capsized off the coast of Guyana on Saturday night has risen to 41 after 14 more bodies were recovered. At the same time, the number of people rescued after the MV Barima turned over rose by 8 to 77, but dozens more remain missing. On Monday, Prime Minister Mark Phillips said 83 people were not accounted for. Divers continued to search the site where the vessel capsized, and people who believed their loved ones might have been on board the stricken vessel were asked to contact the authorities. And that's by way of WoezorTV reports. Thank you for watching. My name is Randy Ahaji.
Embarrassed. Too embarrassed to speak to a loved one. Too embarrassed to speak to your doctor.
Too embarrassed. When in our lifetime, 1 in 4 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in 12 black men will die from prostate cancer.
Let me repeat that. 1 in 4 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in 12 black men will die from prostate cancer disease.
1 in 12. That could be your dad, even your older brother, uncle, or grandfather.
You need to make sure they are not embarrassed to speak to you or their doctor about it.
Hey, Dad, have you had your prostate checked out? See? How hard is that? It's easy. Just start the conversation.
Prostate cancer is survivable if caught and treated early enough.
Don't let embarrassment stop you having this important conversation.
You may save someone's life.
Not just your own.
If you're watching this with your friends, you'll probably make a joke.
Because you know what you feel on the inside isn't what you want people to know.
If you have to pretend to be happy,
Find someone you trust and tell them.
If you get mad at things and you don't know why, or have thoughts about hurting yourself,
Find someone you trust and tell them. You are never alone when you share.
Seriously, people care about you.
It's okay to not understand what you're feeling.
And it's easy to think that you're all alone.
But you don't have to be.
You're never alone when you share. Don't be ashamed to tell someone you trust what you're feeling.
You're not alone.
You are not alone.
Find someone you trust and tell them.
Tell a parent.
Tell a teacher. Tell a brother or sister. Or just tell a friend.
You haven't done anything wrong.
Talk to someone.
Talk to someone.
It's how things get better.
Or we can be the generation that ends it for good.
Malaria must die, so millions can live.
Alright, back for sports update on the Breakfast Cafe. My name is Godfred Amoafo. The World Cup is over, the season is yet to start, and so what will dominate is the transfer market. So let's start from the transfer market and talk about some Ghanaian internationals that are making some move to new clubs from their previous clubs. So let's start from the camp of Tariq Lamptey, because he has joined Queen's Park Rangers from Fiorentina. So the Lamptey and Fiorentina mutually agreed to end their relationship in May, bringing an early conclusion to a chapter in which he made only 25 minutes of competitive football appearances. Now, defender suffered an ACL injury during his time in Italy, but is now progressing in his recovery and is expected to return to selection in September for QPR. So that is good news from the camp of Tariq Lamptey in there. Now let's still talk about Ghanaian internationals, and so we are looking at Abdul Fattah Ishayaku. He has also moved from Leicester City to Ipswich Town. You know that Leicester has been on relegation, and so of course some of the players are leaving, and so the good news is that our player Ishayaku has found a Premier League club, that is Ipswich Town, to join in that regard. So the attacker featured in all 4 of Ghana's games at the Summer's FIFA World Cup, including against England in the group stage, and has won a total of 32 caps for his country, scoring 3 goals. Now, during his career, he has played in the Champions League during his time with Sporting in Portugal and has been promoted to and featured in the Premier League with Leicester before scoring 9 goals in 44 appearances for the Foxes during the 2025-2026 season. Now, this is how he himself, celebrated the move and the message that he gave to the Ipswich Town club. It's a video that he shared on social media. He was so happy about his new move to his new club, and so it means that we are going to see the Fatai Sayaku in next season's English Premier League. The club is also happy for him signing for them, and so all wishes to him that he becomes successful in his new club, Ipswich Town. Let's talk about Chelsea. After signing coach Xavi Alonso, there are a lot of signings that the team is on. Rogers, you can talk about him, but today they are also eyeing English defender John Stones, who is on free transfer or free market, free agent at the moment, and because he has departed Manchester City, the West London side have joined Inter Milan, and in considering a move for the 32-year-old who became a free agent when his City contract expired at the end of June. Chelsea are also in talks to sign Crystal Palace defender Maxence Lacroix, while assessing other options in the market, including Como's Jacobo Ramon. Now, they are also looking to sell central defenders to make space in their squad for potential new arrivals. Now, fellow England international Trevor Chalobah is in talks to join Como, while Axel Disasi and then Beniot Badashil are among those available for sale. And so John Stones is actually on the paper for Chelsea to sign. Stones made 295 appearances for City after joining Everton from Everton for £47.5 million in 2016. He helped Man City to win 6 Premier League titles, the Champions League, 2 FA Cups, 5 League Cups, and 3 Community Shields, a Club World Cup, and UEFA Super Cup. The former Barnsley defender also has 93 international caps and was part of the 3 Lions side who finished it at the just ended FIFA World Cup. And so Chelsea is not going in for any ordinary defender. This is a renowned and experienced defender that Alonso is also seen in that regard. Let's talk about Anthony Taylor, because he has announced that he's standing down after 16 years in England's top flight at the conclusion of the World Cup, and so it promises that next season we are not going to see Anthony Taylor. The 47-year-old hangs up his whistle following 831 games in the English, European and international games, with his final match, the World Cup last 16 clash between Portugal and tournament winner Spain. Domestically, Taylor refereed in every major domestic English Cup final, officiating the 2017 and 2020 FA Cup finals and the 215 League Cup final, as well as 432 Premier League matches. And so Anthony Taylor says it all. He says that it's time for him to hang the whistle, and so next season, don't be surprised that you won't see this experienced referee in the center of the game. It's a wrap for sports. I am Godfred Amwafo. Entertainment is up next this day.
Okay, next one. Sit down. Look to camera.
This is what it looks like to be exceptional, to stand out from the crowd, to make history. But what if women didn't have to be exceptional? What if they didn't have to be the first, the best, or the only woman? What if being a female engineer wasn't remarkable? What if women and men could compete as equals? I don't want to make history. I don't want to be the only woman. I want to be one of many.
Gentlemen, I've got some bad news and some good news. Okay, the bad news is that your chances of getting prostate cancer are now just 7 to 1. In fact, prostate cancer is killing one man every single hour of the day in this country. Imagine that, one every hour of the day. But the good news is, we're forming a team to stop that clock. Men United. It's time men united together to fight prostate cancer, the way women have united against breast cancer. We need to get together and find a cure, as well as better ways to care for the 250,000 prostate cancer sufferers out there. Please, get on side and join us in the fight. Men United versus prostate cancer. We can win this.
When I saw his face slipping, I knew it was a stroke. I called an ambulance immediately to save the life we've built together.
The way her arm was hanging down wasn't right. I insisted to go straight to the hospital to save our mother and the family.
The way he was talking when the ambulance arrived alerted us. I rang ahead so the hospital staff were ready to save precious time in the future.
Okay, so that is also another day to come your way on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. I am Evergreen Asantua, and this is the entertainment update, and that was Perez Rain there. And if you haven't listened to this one, maybe you would want to add that to your playlist so that you can start your mornings right. Now let's look at today's entertainment headlines. And Sarkodie questions TikTok after new single is flagged. Stonebwoy's team threatens legal action over song theft claims. Now Perez Music praises Shatta Wale for embracing AI. Then we have Tyler set July 24 release for sophomore album A Pop. DJ Khaled receives legacy plaque for 20 billion streams. And now to the details of these stories. Sarkodie has questioned TikTok after the visualizer for his new single Ibrahim Traore featuring Walasi was flagged as ineligible for recommendation. The song, named after Burkina Faso's president, Captain Ibrahim Traore, explores themes of Africa's exploitation and foreign influence. While TikTok restricted the video's recommendation, the platform has not publicly explained why. Reacting to the decision, Sarkodie shared a screenshot of the notification on Instagram asking, and for what reason is it not eligible for recommendation? The development has sparked conversations about content moderation and how social media platforms handle politically themed creative works. And that is what is currently happening also with the new single, okay, the latest song that Sarkodie has released featuring musician Walasi. A very good one. Maybe you would want to also listen to it. It was released last Saturday, and it's a good listen actually. If even with the visualizer, you could see what Sarkodie is trying to communicate, and I don't really understand why it is like that. But let's take a quick listen to the song.
Now wait, the take us back. This is something I hate. They the rabbit us for God knows when. When the right leaders come, then you people trying to violate. In Nigeria, we need clean water, but you people never come around. When the Ebola was killing Africa, we never saw you try to shine.
So, you know, this is just so you understand what we're talking about, and then you can also have a look at the visualizer that has been ineligibly recommended for TikTok users. So it means that the song might not get a lot of attention as it should on the TikTok platform. But I mean, if you go onto his page, you will still find the video also on there, because this morning I checked and then I could see it. But you know, when it comes to content being ineligible for recommendation, it is only the user of the account or the owner of the account that sees that inscription on there. But you, the viewer or the person visiting that platform, you will not see it. Though it has some numbers on there, but trust me, Sarkodie has over 1 million following on TikTok. So it means that the song should get more numbers or could get more attention and even attraction than it has now. But because they have, you know, limited the recommendations and all, it means it can't reach a lot of people, and every other creative should be concerned about this. So hopefully TikTok does something about it. Who knows, maybe even President Ibrahim might even be excited about this song. But it is very important that you also go and then listen. But still talking about music, Stonebwoy's management has also issued a 24-hour challenge to musician Madimas to provide evidence supporting her allegations that the dancehall star stole one of her songs. Now, Bennington Music Group's head of public relations, Vida Educhumwa-Boatin, dismissed the accusation as false and warned that legal actions could follow if Madimas fails to submit or even substantiate her claims. Vida also alleged that controversies often emerge whenever Stonebwoy has a major event, insisting the artist's success is built on quality rather than publicity stunts.
Demons will my way more every time there's an upcoming Stonebwoy event. You see these people putting up false news. About time I can't say ya bread with all these negative stories, negative untrue stories. No, now we want to use someone as a scapegoat. No, obi ato trap ni mo. Obi ato trap ni mo. And as a PR no yanshe anka obi betine tie akase sa fake stories no ni fake reports no kamia yese ye PR marketing strategy bi aya peke just to sell our shows. But you know, when it comes to Stonebwoy, your quality in a turn, we don't do stunts down here, and that is why we want to set the record straight on this very story. So Madimas Nas also need Stonebwoy go way back where. And he found out any course our way back no. You see what you have started, and we will end with you squarely. It will be cinema till the dawn. You can't just get up and taint the image of an artist like Stonebwoy. Now I found when this maybe sir, and you now also sending my Stonebwoy, and through what means did you send that track? Have you ever had Stonebwoy's contact in any way? You said you styled Stonebwoy. You styled Stonebwoy when and where? For which project? And so far, you said then who photo bearer of you styling Stonebwoy. I'm daring you. Let me know. Say Stonebwoy no wahifa. Bring the evidence that proves that you ever communicated with Stonebwoy to the point say who sending a piece of work a man or say onche. Mas Nas or say Madi Mas Nas. No, we are waiting for the proof of your correspondence with Stonebwoy. Because as I speak to you now, I was so gather with evidence. It's say you will face the law for this. Yeah, per scapegoat. Nana Romeo, ça fait combien des années que tu as fait ce travail-là? Ça fait combien des années que tu as travaillé sur la radio?
So these claims were made during an interview, with Nana Romeo, if I have to state the specifics. But this is also what Stonebwoy's PR is saying. So if you have the evidence, if it is there, let us see it. Back your claims. Let us know what is happening. Let us know that you know exactly what you're talking about. So that is what or where Madimas finds his health. And then I'll be here to give you all the update on that. But just a quick reminder also that on the 15th of August, it is a Saturday in London, the Beam Festival or Beam concert is happening, and you might also want to find yourself in that auditorium if you happen to be in London on the 15th of August. Now let's move away from that and let's talk about gospel musician Perez Music, and he has praised Shatta Wale for embracing artificial intelligence in music production. Speaking on Daybreak, Perez described the dancehall star as smart for using AI-generated choir vocals on his African King album, adding that he also uses AI to create song demos before recording. He stressed that artificial intelligence should be viewed as a creative tool rather than a replacement for musicians, saying it helps save time and improve the production process. Perez believes responsible use of AI can help artists become more efficient while maintaining their originality.
Go online, like there's a whole AI album. I'm like, hey, the AI album. No, it's supposed to be a tool.
And then
but the AI has been there.
You are treating my brother B this morning. You are treating my brother B. You said they use AI for
no,
a
are you
whole
talking
album.
about Shatta Wale?
No,
but he didn't use it.
Even if I listen to
Deborah.
that was fun. That was fun. I listened to his new
African King album,
and Shatta is smart.
He's always ahead.
He's smart.
Yeah,
he's smart. He's very, very smart.
Yeah.
I listen to a wide range of music because I'm an artist too. So when I saw the album, I'm like, well, let me see what it's about. His use of there was one of the songs that he used the choir, the AI choir.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful.
Yes.
It was beautiful. I think I saw it on Headless YouTuber's page.
Oh, okay.
He did a breakdown
of it.
He does the breakdown.
Yeah, he does that.
The stuff. Yeah. So I was listening to it and he was breaking the songs down. And I'm like, he's smart.
Yeah. And that is the way to go.
The way he has incorporated the use, I'm like, bro.
He's not going to do 100%.
No.
His personality is in it.
It's in it. You can feel it. You can literally feel it. And he uses it when it's necessary. And I think it was just amazing. It was so creative.
Wow.
It was so creative.
So yes, I told you that the king, the dancehall king to be specific, was going to release an album, and yes, he has dropped it. He dropped it on the 17th of July, which is last Friday. And if at this point you haven't listened to the album, then you are actually not a Shatta fan, or you don't know what like what's happening in entertainment. And now please, you need to go and listen to the song, the beautiful songs on on their lineup of over, I think, 20 songs. And then this particular song that I think Perez Music is trying to point out is the God of the Universe, which happens to be the intro or the first song on the album. A very beautiful one. You can still feel the personality in there. And then I think he did quite well with the whole choral or the choir bits in the song. He incorporated it very, very, very well. And I mean, he's a smart guy, no two ways about that. But you know, for you to better understand what we are talking about, probably you would want to listen to the entire album, then you get where the conversation is going to. So yes, African King is out by Shatta Wale. You would want to listen to it, so go out there, stream it, and just see how people are using AI in music now on their creative works lately. Probably also help you one way or the other. But still in music, South African superstar Tyler has also officially announced that her second studio album, A Pop, will be released on July 24. Now, also, the 14-track project follows her Grammy-winning debut and includes previously released singles such as Chanel, Is It Love, and She Did It Again, featuring Zara Larsson. According to Tyler, the album blends amapiano, pop and R&B while continuing her mission to position African music at the center of global pop culture. With anticipation already building, A Pop is expected to be one of Africa's biggest album releases of the year. So you would also want to mark your calendars, because in 2 days, yes, Tyler is dropping her second studio album. And you know, it's a good way to, you know, end the month. And let's also not forget about that of, you know, Davido too as well. But now it is a Tyler moment, so let's celebrate her. I love the visuals too, and I think I saw a video where she's saying that her, you know, she has a package on Brits and then what have you. Very, very, very beautiful. And this is quite also unique when it comes to the, you know, the visuals for the track or even the album itself. And you know, sometimes creativity is all about how you want it, how you envision it, and how you want people to also see it. And I love this for here. But let's talk about my last story this morning. And DJ Khaled also has marked 20 years in the music industry by receiving a special legacy plaque in recognition of his remarkable career achievement. The award, presented by Jimmy Fallon on the Tonight Show, celebrated Khaled's 13 studio albums, more than 20 billion global streams, and over 80 million records sold worldwide. The plaque was so massive that it had to be unveiled outside the studio at Rockefeller Center. Over the past 2 decades, DJ Khaled has produced chart-topping hits with global stars including Jay-Z, Drake, Rihanna, Justin Bieber, and Lil Wayne. The honor recognizes Khaled's lasting influence on hip-hop and his role in shaping some of the biggest collaborations in modern music. So a huge congratulations going out to DJ Khaled on this one. And I think Jimmy and his team pulled up this surprise very, 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 very well, and I absolutely love this for him. But let's look at the video. Very, very adorable, very beautiful, and I can only imagine what was running through his mind looking at this. Imagine you're going for an interview and then you go and then we are like, okay, we have a surprise for you. Go out and then it's a whole celebration for you. These are some of the things that we absolutely love to see, and I love how people also gathered around to, you know, share in his sentiment and also embrace the moment and celebrate him. He has been in the game for what, 20 good years, and a lot more years to come. So this is where I draw the curtains down for today's entertainment update here on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. I am Evergreen Asantwa. Thank you for watching. I'll see you, God willing, tomorrow. Until then, take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Embarrassed. Too embarrassed to speak to a loved one. Too embarrassed to speak to your doctor?
Too embarrassed. When in our lifetime, 1 in 4 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in 12 black men will die from prostate cancer.
Let me repeat that. 1 in 4 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in 12 black men will die from prostate cancer disease.
1 in 12. That could be your dad, even your older brother, uncle, or grandfather.
You need to make sure they are not embarrassed to speak to you or their doctor about it.
Hey, Dad, have you had your prostate checked out? See? How hard is that? It's easy. Just start the conversation.
Prostate cancer is survivable if caught and treated early enough.
Don't let embarrassment stop you having this important conversation.
You may save someone's life.
Not just your own.
As I speak to you, one of the most significant decisions we took as government was to revise our education curriculum. And the agency responsible is NACA, the National Curriculum Review Agency. They were asked to revise our education curriculum from kindergarten to junior high school. I'm happy to note that on Wednesday, a revised curriculum for all people from kindergarten to junior high school will be presented formally to the Ministry of Education for onward submission to the President and for the policy to go to Cabinet and Parliament. The revision of our curriculum is to ensure smart start curriculum for greater integration of technology, science, engineering, and mathematics. We have promised to introduce coding, electronics, artificial intelligence, and TVET into the basic education curriculum. And this will be the new addition. And more importantly, ethics, ethical values. How the child grows up, knowing what is state resources, knowing how to be patriotic and responsible, and knowing how to be civic responsible will be an integral part of our revised curriculum. I'm also happy to note that the teacher remains pivotal to the school environment and even to the organization of the school management. Therefore, our government places priority on the motivation and well-being of teachers. Apart from the 20% allowance for persons who accept posting into rural areas, we are almost through, led by the District Assembly.
All right, so a very big thanks to Godfred as well as Asantiwa for bringing us the sports segment and also the e-updates segment respectively. But it's time we delve into our main conversation this morning. And as I intimated in my intro, I mentioned that we're going to speak to an educationist with regards to what we saw early part of the week where the Minister for Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, addressed the nation with what we need to know as far as the education sector is concerned. Remember, tomorrow the mid-year budget review will be read, and indeed some of these things will be captured in that particular statement. But key policy points that the minister mentioned, I'll just touch on it and get our experts to speak wholly on them. He mentioned that there will be a revised curriculum where this new curriculum will have a new kindergarten to junior high school curriculum. So the curriculum will actually be for from kindergarten to junior high school, which will feature new subjects like artificial intelligence, that's the AI, coding, electronics, as well as TVET. So that's what we are looking at when it comes to the curriculum for kindergarten to junior high school. Then again, he spoke about infrastructure investment. He mentioned that Cabinet has approved a 3 billion Ghana cedis infrastructure program aimed at eliminating the double track system in senior high schools across the country. And that has sparked, you recall the free senior high school brought some sort of controversy in the past. We were also told that this was going to be eradicated or ended in some time to come. He also mentioned the national standardized test. What does this really mean? It says the ministry is institutionalizing this test for primary 2, 4, and 6 pupils to identify learning gaps early. How realistic is that? That's what I want my guests to react to. Then also the conversation on free senior high school funding, which we are told that the government has earmarked 4.2 billion to support student feeding as well. Then also the teacher welfare, which I mentioned that it's something that is so dear to my heart. It says ongoing discussions with teacher unions and the Ministry of Works and Housing are underway to deliver a subsidized housing loan program and build up to 10,000 housing units for teachers. My guest is Dr. Seydou Fita. He's an educationist. He's joined us via phone to react to some of the questions that we have. Doc, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on the WoezorTV Breakfast Cafe. It's been a while. How are you?
Good morning, Randy. I am fine. How about you?
I'm fine. You've been missing in action. Oh. You are not you are a big man, so it's hard to get you.
You know, there's no end to education, and we are still going to school.
Oh, okay.
So going to school and working at the same time, there's a lot of pressure. But what can we do?
Yeah.
I always watch you, and I feel so proud of you on TV.
I appreciate it.
I hope one day we'll meet at the top there.
Yeah. Doc, let's talk about what the education minister put out earlier this week. First of all, your general reactions to the 4 key highlights that I stated.
Let me say good morning to you, your cherished viewers, and I listen to you. Not only you, I listen to the minister. I read reactions to his address, or Meet the Media series that he organized. I think that the Minister for Education currently is doing very well. You can only add your voice to what His Excellency President Mahama once mentioned to Ghanaians, that the minister is one of the ministers he's seen to be doing work every now and then, trying to fix the gaps and the problems at the Ministry of Education. He inherited a very challenging situation as a minister, where we had problems with double track system, accommodation for students, provision of furniture for students. He came in to, fix all these issues, and also to implement free sanitary pass policy that was promised by the NDC before we came to power, and look at the welfare of teachers, which you also mentioned is very integral or very important to you as an individual. And that should be very important to everyone, because without a teacher, there's no student. Though we appreciate the fact that you need a student to be a teacher, but students without teachers, there will definitely be problems. People always say the education ministry is controlling majority of the budget of the government, but how much is it when they say much of it? And again, you quantify the problem as against the money that the ministry will receive. And you come to appreciate how this minister is using his social capital, his personal connections, and the influence in the government to bring in NGOs to partner with them to fix some of the problems at some senior high school. Looking at the attention that is paid to the STEM schools in this country, that if we were going to depend only from our budget, there would have been a challenge. You look at teacher deficits and how that is, going to be a tall order or difficult thing to fix in the shortest possible time, which bit by bit, I think the ministry is doing their best on that. looking at the limited budget we have, because if there's no money allocated for recruitment of teachers, rather you know that it's not going to be possible, or you can't recruit a teacher without paying a teacher. And so for the policy pronouncements he's made, I think it's on the right direction. We just need proper implementation. To find money to make sure we are able to, solidify all those gains, so that we can now come out to say we have a very quality and strong education system in our country.
Doc, let's get into the details. Break it down. The minister mentioned that there is a new curriculum for more like basic school from kindergarten to junior high school. Now, in that new curriculum, you have what you call the AI coding. Now, I have read from some persons who are also educationists. They raise arguments that at a very tender age, as low as kindergarten, why do you introduce AI and coding to them? Would they really grasp the essence in that space? From where you sit, do you agree with some of this call that it is too immature to introduce pupils who are in KG to coding and AI?
It is two sides. There's two sides of the coin. First of all, I'm sure the minister will not come out to speak in a vague. He probably would have spoken to some stakeholders in the education system, those who have been there before. Knowing who he is, I'm sure he would depend on a lot of experienced educationists who advise him. And I know when it comes to technology, he's someone who has so much interest in technology. And having a history of ever working with the communication ministry as the head or the leader at the ministry before, you would expect him to want to see the country run in a fast pace. The challenges that we would have is that some of the children can get understanding of AI and coding, because when we grow, usually we have people around who are even 30 or more years, and they have difficulty playing around the computer. And we locally refer to those people as born before computer. So if you want to make an argument to say that age should be considered before introduction of ICT or AI coding, then how about those who are more than 30 years and they still struggle around the computer? It means that we have to start at a certain age or at a certain stage to introduce children to technology, that is AI and coding, so that at a certain age you wouldn't have to be struggling to learn it. If you look at countries like China that are now ahead of us when it comes to the growth of their economy, how to move on with their education, you realize that they introduce their children to these things at an early age. My only challenge is the provision. How possible can we make provision of gadgets that are needed for these children to learn? One, we still have a lot of deficit when it comes to classrooms, and you cannot do IT without classroom. Number two, if you remember, RLG under President John Mahama I was distributed, and even the resilience of the computers that were given, some of them were problematic, and not every teacher was even covered. So now, if you compare number of teachers to number of students, you realize that we have more students than teachers in our schools. So if we have challenge covering teachers when it comes to providing them with ICT gadgets, then you should be able to tell that the difficulty also will be there when it comes to the students. Again, when you look at Ghana, you will still understand that we have a lot of rural communities. Even, the urban communities, we still have challenge with internet. And, I think this is something that we need to look at for the second time. Idea, perfect. Wanting to do it at that level, very important. But as to whether the means is available or it is possible to do it at this time, looking at the conditions that I have, just mentioned to you, lack of classrooms where you have to do all these things, lack of the ICT gadgets that the students need to, land their hands on. We still have teachers who have to draw a computer on a blackboard or laptop on a blackboard to teach people ICT. We have teachers who are ICT teachers, and they don't even have the benefit of a laptop. So when those ones are done, I am thinking that possibly they want to do supply or make supply of these ICT gadgets to the schools. But even with that, do we have the network coverage? Even in rural areas where we have these, network challenges, how about the rural communities? Even if you want to provide internet facility, do they have electricity? We are still in a country where communities have not even covered up to 50 or 60% of electricity in their constituencies. We are in an era where even in rural areas, electricity 100% coverage is something we jubilate about. Something that China and other advanced countries have gone far away from. And even where you even think that you have 100% coverage of electricity, extension is always a difficulty. So there are so many things that need to be done before we go into that era. But I think the idea is a very beautiful one. We can start it from somewhere, probably expand it across the country.
And Doc, this is where also, I'll draw you into the amount that has been quoted for tackling infrastructure deficits. The infrastructure investment. He mentioned some 3 billion Ghana cedis infrastructure program aimed at eliminating the double track system in senior high schools. But before you even tackle that for me, let me go back to some of the points that he mentioned as far as the revised curriculum is concerned. Electronics and TVET. Doc, I remember when we were in basic school, if my memory serves me right, class 3 to 4 thereabout, we used to do balloons, ribbons, and crafts. We call it craft work and all of that. Is there a reintroduction of that cycle? Is that what we are seeing?
I think yes. There are so many good policies that we scrapped off, I don't know whether that is civilization that has brought that problem where we eliminated so many of the things that was helping us in innovation. And I beg to think that is what the minister intends to do. That's what he's looking at, to make sure we reintroduce those things. Look at now, we would have expected that there would be civilization. But those of us who passed through that olden age are innovative than even the children who are coming up now. It means that there's something that we have missing. There's something we eliminated which we should have carried along, as we grow as a country. So I am sure the minister, after consulting stakeholders and experts in this area, think that, look, we have to go back there and carry all the things that we were doing in the past that was helping. Look, every other thing that we need to do to make students pass, I can't say we are 100%, but it is better now than before. But if you go and compare the results, the outcomes that we're bringing after writing examination, we're doing better than now. It means there's a particular problem or there's a missing link that we need to connect and then see how we can solve that problem before we move on again. So yes, I agree with you. I think that we are going back there. We are trying to, bring back those, innovations that were making us learn faster. Today you even look during that time we didn't have even proper counters. We're using the cork of bottles. You remember that as our counters. Today you have difficulty. You see the children struggling to solve common mathematics problems. So yes, I think that the minister is trying to introduce what we did in the past, and that is going to help us to bring innovation into our schools. Now, touching on the money or budget allocated for the expansion of infrastructure to eliminate the double track system, I have always said, and I am sure on this your set, I spoke to you. I think you hosted myself and the national chairman of Parent Teachers Association, and I made the same point. The elimination of senior high school is just for us to expand in structure, provide furniture. That's the only way we can eliminate double track in our senior high schools. Now, even with the schools that are, schools that are running single system with a double track, if you go there and see where our children sleep, you feel very sorry for them. Even tuition is a big problem, and sometimes you would have to even send your child out for classes, registered and private classes, to be able to perform well. The contact hours is limited. Look, if a student doesn't sleep well, doesn't eat well, it becomes difficult for you to concentrate and learn. Sometimes we need to, hold the bull by the horn and tell ourselves the truth. The truth is that we can never eliminate double track without expanding infrastructure. We can never eliminate double track by adding more teachers to our senior high schools. And that is what the minister is trying to send a message to the country and the president and the government. Now, with regard to the budget, it is his to come out with a budget or a projection, but it is the government to provide the money or the necessary incentives for that to be done. So when he makes his pronouncement, he's a minister. For him, it is policy, implementation of the policies. So when he brings it out and the government supports it, I can, assure you that things will go well. I mean, we're expecting that this year there will be elimination of the double track system. Then the minister is now telling the country that we need another year to do it. That means we would need resources to be able to expand infrastructure. And when that is done, I can assure you double track, of course, will be eliminated. I sit here and I see Get Fund projects littering across Northern region. When you come, even in my constituency, Tolong, you see Get Fund projects going on in Karaga, in Tamale South, which is a constituency of the Minister for Education, and many of the districts you see Get Fund projects going around. I just expect that the government provide money, we expand infrastructure at the senior high schools, and the double track system will end. And beyond ending or eliminating double track system, we must recruit more teachers, competent teachers who handle courses at the senior high school. The recent results is very worrying. You remember in the past, even students were taking through past questions. When they even go and they fail, you see them make a video and saw the president. I remember last year, the Minister for Education sent a signal out that any student caught copying or in exam malpractice, you are going to be held liable. Any teacher supporting a student to copy or engage in exam malpractice, the teacher is going to be held liable. And when the rules were strictly applied, you can see the results. Very terrible. And that tells you that when students are going to sit and do independent work, there's going to be a challenge. And that goes back to the rules. And the rules are that it means that the quality of teaching at the senior high school, the teachers may want to give quality teaching, but the conditions for it is lacking. Go to senior high schools across your, communities that are closer to you. You see the breakages, furniture that are broken are packed somewhere. Students have to stand or sit on each other's laps for many, many hours to learn. Those are the lapses. And the lapses cannot be fixed only by the pronouncement. They can only be fixed by provision of resources to the senior high schools to provide furniture and to also get more competent teachers so that they can get quality time for the children, so that at the end of the day, when independent work is done by the student, you can see the results for yourself. It's not just about the structure. It's not just about the teachers. It is about the output, the outcome of the money we are going to invest in education. And I hope that, before next year, something can be done so that by next year we get out of the double track system. But my interest is not just about getting out of the double track system. My interest is about the students coming out with quality result, a result they can defend at the tertiary level. Results, when they go to the tertiary level, for example, if you're a science student and you come out and you get an 11, 9, 6, etc., and you go to the university to do science, to do any science-related course like medicine, nursing, doctor of medical laboratory, doctor of pharmacy, you should be able to do physics, chemistry without difficulty, microbiology without difficulty. But if you come with 6 or 11 and you sit in a science class and you have problem passing microbiology or chemistry, it means the results you brought was not genuine. And that has to go back to teacher motivation. that is where I think when there's proper motivation, the students can do independent work, and when they get to the tertiary institution, they can perform better.
Doc, you just touched on where the next conversation is leading us to, or the next question is leading us to, the teacher welfare, a major concern. And Doc, I want you to tie that into the backlog of teachers that are still lying at home, not recruited. How do we marry the two? Talking about on one breath, you're saying, yes, there is that full commitment for teacher welfare. There are others also lying at home.
Yes. So if you, before you appreciate what teachers go through, you have to go into our communities. If you sit in Tamale, if you sit in Kumasi Central, if you sit in Accra, you would never appreciate what the teachers go through. But you go to the communities. In fact, there are some, before they get to their communities to teach, they have to cross a river, they use a canoe, then when they get down, they ride their motor for some time, then they enter another canoe into the next community. Now, we expect teachers to stay in the communities and teach. When teachers lack bungalows or places to sleep and stay in the community, so they are either forced to go for just a day, spend with someone in the community, or teach for 2 days and come back and leave the students to their fate. I have gone to a community where my district chief executive is going to renovate his school and provide, clinic and other amenities for a community. And a teacher was staying in one of the offices because this is someone who was loyal and committed and wanting to teach and stay in the community, but there's no place to sleep. There's no, in fact, if you can't even talk about whether the place is even conducive or not, because if you are sleeping in an office, you cannot describe that as a conducive place. And there was no bed. You would just be lying on a furniture. The next day, then you expect the person to come and deliver quality lectures. That is going to be difficult. Teacher motivation is very important. And that also is not only the job of the minister, the finance minister also have to come in. The president have to focus on that so that enough resources can be channeled in making sure the betterment or livelihood of the teachers are improved. Now, there's a backlog. Really, what are we going to do with the backlog? Backlog problem can only be solved if the teachers are posted. Right? If only teachers are posted to schools to teach. But how do you post a teacher with a salary? That means it is not, like I keep saying, the Minister for Education is to implement the policy. He's the leader. But how can you implement policies without enough resources? The government have to make money available. He may want to bring in teachers. The deficit is clear. Everyone can see. Everyone knows that the problem of our schools are teacher deficit. You can have one teacher teaching 3-4 courses. And everybody have an area of expertise. So at least if you are teaching 3 or 4, there's an area where you'll be good at. The rest, you are just struggling to, do something to represent something. Just so it will look as if you are teaching, a course or you're also doing well in the school. But we need enough teachers at our schools, starting from the basic level. And before that is done, you need money. We will always have backlog if there's no money to employ teachers. So it is government to look for money. It is finance minister to make money available. Then that will now be the job of the education minister to send out, forms or to send out the link for people to apply. Teachers are there. Most of them, some are quality teachers. They are sitting in the house. They want to do the job, but the work is not available. It is for finance minister to make money available.
Doc, is that not why we ought to make this, and I'll bring in the health sector as well, these two key sectors, the health and then the education sector, is that not why there is a need for us to prioritize these two sectors, looking at what they offer?
Exactly. These are two essential sectors of our economy that should be prioritized. I agree with you. And these are areas where government have to vote much of its resources into, putting more money into where your capital or human capital development is. You need to put money there. And Like I will keep on repeating it. The government, I mean, today we sit in and we hear, I mean, the profits. For example, gold board is making. Other sectors of economy, they are making some profits. Then where are we supposed to channel the profit into? We have to look at the area of education. In fact, even before health, there must be education. Because you would need to pass exam well before you get into an area where you choose to be a health expert and enter into that area. Before I went into medical laboratory sciences, before I went into public health, I had to go through primary, junior high school, and senior high school education. So if there's no quality at the primary school, no quality at junior high school, no quality at senior high school, how can you even get to the tertiary to become who you want to be in future? It will be difficult. And these are areas, for example, the education sector, where we chain out the human capital to go to the tertiary level, to be trained to become nurses, to be trained to become doctors, to be trained to become pharmacists, to be trained to become lab technologists or doctors of the medical laboratory, to be trained as, you know, people who are into the X-ray business. So we need to prioritize these two areas. Randy, we sit here, and at the end of the day, someone is sick and going outside the country for medical review. What is lacking? The problem here. If we channel more of our resources into education, we get quality education at the basic level. I can assure you at the tertiary level, there will be quality education. And quality education go hand in hand. Making sure you have infrastructure, making sure learning and teaching outcomes are, 100%, even if not 100%, but greater than, 50%. And that also has to do with a teacher. That has to do with a lecturer. If you are able to take care of all these people, I can assure you quality teaching is going to be administered. And when that is done, of course, the economy or the country, every other sector is going to go very well. So, Randy, it's not only about education, health sector too, but education is the bedrock of all of that. If there's no quality education at basic level, I can assure you, imagine if someone who is struggling to pass science, to understand physics, to understand chemistry, and the person gets to the tertiary level and struggle to even come out, then you collapse and wake up in front of this person to take care of your life. Of course, you die before your life is taken away from you. So, Randy, I think that enough money or resources should be channeled into education. And when that is done, I can assure you all the other facets of the economy is going to go well.
Before I let you go, finally, tomorrow will be a big day where the finance minister will present the media budget review. Just in 30 seconds, what are your expectations, especially with regards to the education sector?
A lot. I will expect my book and research allowance. As someone in the university, I will expect my book and research allowance. I will expect the finance minister to, let the country know where we are when it comes to teacher recruitment. We have a backlog. We have a lot of young people staying at home after completing the teacher training colleges. We have a lot of nurses at home who need to get there because there's a lot of deficit. I went to the hospital yesterday, for example, and even sample collection, people brought from the wards, and we had a few number of people to receive. And that tells me that, look, these people want to work, the hospital is ready to work, but the leaders of the facility will need government to post men to their facilities so that they can be able to help make work very easy. So a lot is expected from the finance minister. Money should be released. We shouldn't just be talking. It is good for us to keep the books clean. It's good for us to keep inflation very low. It's good for us to manage the, foreign currency as against the, our local currency. But it's also important to be practical with it. It's important to make sure teachers are recruited and paid on time. It's important to make sure nurses are employed and paid on time so that we can now ask for our due from the torchbearers. If you are paying a teacher well you are paying a nurse well, you can ask the person for quality delivery. But if you fail to employ people, it always will become difficult. If your books are clean and your people are dying, your books are clean and the schools are struggling, I'm not sure that's the economy every one of us would want to have in our country. We must be practical with it and not theoretical.
Doc,
that's what I think.
Not done yet. I mean, tomorrow hopefully we'll get back to you, and even on Friday where there is going to be a lengthy conversation post the budget review. So be on standby. We'll come back to you tomorrow and Friday.
I'm always with you, Randy.
The very best of the day as well. There you heard Dr. Seydou Fita. He is an educationist. Let me just say emphatically, he is an assistant lecturer at UDS, doing fantastic, I mean, jobs in that space as well. But guys, you heard him. Karim.
Yeah, I think Doc has done justice to the conversation. And Randy, see, we cannot deny the fact that huge investment has been done in the education sector by this particular government. You can pick, from history down and realize that within this short period, it's barely 2 years, in government, but some huge investment has been done by this government in the education sector. One, we can start with the no fee stress policy, where you have level 100 students or first year students going to school without having to be worried about school fees or admission fees, everything catered for by the government. Two, you can talk about free tertiary education for persons with disability. Three, you can talk about the fact that we've been able to uncap Get Fund and provide dedicated funding for free senior high school education. Previously, there was no dedicated funding for free senior high school education, but now Get Fund has been uncapped. All of the money that's supposed to go to Get Fund goes to Get Fund, and we have dedicated funding for free senior high school education, and that obviously would result in a lot of the consistency that we are seeing as far as education is concerned. So when we talk about accessibility and access to education, these are some of the investments that we have made. There are some legacy debts, that were inherited by this particular government that has been cleared so far. First, you can talk about the 72.8 million capitation grant arrears that we had to come in and clear. We've paid about 122 million for BEC registration. All of those monies have been cleared, and WASI practical fees, feeding grants, and all of that costs that we have taken care of. You talk about the 895 million that we've allocated to the school feeding program. Randy, today senior high schools do not have to complain about feeding, because the food is readily available and they are feeding the children as they are supposed to feed them. Whereas in the past, the kids did not have food. There were complaints every now and then that at some point they were feeding them with gari when they go to the dining hall. But today, that has become a thing of the past. You talk about the 52 million that we have paid in teacher trainee allowances so far. And you remember the issue of the promotions that a lot of teachers had. Today, we have been able to fix all of those challenges with promotions and put teachers on the skills that they are supposed to be put on. Today, as we speak, there are Get Fund projects scattered across this country. We are putting up more dormitories, we are putting up more classrooms, we are putting up bungalows or residence for teachers, we are putting up dining halls and all of that, expanding infrastructure. And remember, yesterday Parliament passed about a $300 million World Bank facility that is supposed to be geared towards ending the double